Hello, my name is Sterling Bone, Professor of Marketing here in the Huntsman School of Business. I am the advisor of the MBA Association, and I'm pleased to introduce you to Jake Porter, President of the MBA Association, and Ross Menlove, Executive Vice President, and we're happy to share with you some of the great things that are going on with the MBA Association. Jake, tell us a little bit about why someone should get involved with the MBA Association.
Well, the MBA Association offers a broad spectrum of different activities and opportunities that lets you develop yourself professionally and socially as well. I mean, a big part of the MBA is just being part of the cohort and getting to know other people, getting to know the cohort really well. And a lot of that is developing yourself professionally so that you can interact with other people professionally in a myriad of different events. We do a lot of different social events, a lot of different professional events, and it just creates a lot of opportunities to build yourself in ways that you wouldn't necessarily find directly in the classroom.
And that makes it key, right? This is an outside of the classroom experience.
Exactly.
And this is to enrich and expand your experience in the program, working with fellow students, faculty, alumni, advisors. Maybe speak to that. Who are some of the people that you connect with as part of the MBA?
Well, again, it's more than just being inside the classroom. Being part of the MBA it kind of ties in the whole experience, because we do a lot of additional learning opportunities through different seminars and networking events, but it also connects us to the broader spectrum of the Huntsman community. And that really includes professors who aren't necessarily in all the classrooms with us. That includes past alumni, the people who are the other MBA students who are in the part-time programs or in the professional programs. And so it really just allows us to connect with more than just those people who are right here on campus or right in the classroom with us. It's a great opportunity to also connect with professionals that are interested in the success of the MBA program. We've done mock interviews where professionals have come and worked with the MBA to do mock interviews and resume editing and resume help. And so it really just kind of opens up your network, opens up your contacts, and gives you a broader experience than you would just find just coming to class every day.
So Ross, as someone that's come from a non-business background and coming into the Huntsman MBA, how has the MBA been a career accelerator, helping you take that next move into a business career?
You know, Professor Bone, that's a great question, because when I started the program, and the whole reason, I mean, most of us are here is to get a job. And coming from a different background, like you stated, I wasn't exactly sure, hey, what it is that I want to do when I graduate from this MBA program, and I was worried about that because it's only 1 year. And you kind of got to get out there and figure out what you want to do. And the biggest help with that was the MBAA. Through the MBAA, we set up different career trips. I was able to see marketing. I was able to see supply chain. I was able to see financials. And the great thing about all of those trips was that I was able to see, okay, what are the different things that someone with an MBA here in Utah or elsewhere could do with that degree, especially coming from the Huntsman School of Business. And so it was great having that connection to be able to see, okay, this is what I want to do. And the greatest thing about it was also, everywhere we went, I got to increase my network. I got to increase the people that I was acquainted with. Also, during that time, I was able to get to know the cohorts within the MBA, which will increase my network even more as life goes on and we all increase in our business careers. But it's great just to have that network and also kind of help me focus in on what it is that I want to do. And I think without those career trips and without that through the MBAA, it would have been difficult to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, my experience as a proud alum of the Huntsman School is being active in building your community, building your contacts with alumni, with faculty makes the difference in your program. And the fact that this is outside of class, it requires students like yourselves to really roll up the sleeves and get to work and work hard diligently to build the MBA brand, to build your personal brand, and build your career prospects coming out of the MBA program. So well done.
You know, the other thing about it also, I mean, when you think about it, by myself going out and trying to find a job is difficult, especially when I come from a different background. But having the MBAA set up already, where there's people who know the MBAA, who know the Huntsman brand, who are acquainted with professors like yourself, who are able to have those experiences. I mean, those experiences I wouldn't have had without through the MBAA. So it's a great opportunity to be involved in something and especially help you learn and to grow and increase your network, like you stated.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Jake, maybe you can speak a little bit how the MBA has helped you in your career. and moving forward with your goals as a professional business person?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing, when I came into the MBA program, I already had a job lined up for when I was going to be graduating. And so I kind of took it as a way to look at how I can develop myself professionally for the job I'm going to be taking for the company that had already made that agreement with me. And so even though a lot of times I wasn't going to, mock interviews trying to practice for the interview I was going to be having graduating, I always took it as an opportunity to, again, expand my network and just develop myself and say, okay, I'm probably not going to work for the same company for my entire career. And even if I do, there's always opportunities to interview, to interact with people, and opportunities to update your resume. Everything we did at the MBA applies to people both with job opportunities or that are still looking for that career. And so I just always applied it to how can I develop myself further? How can I help build the Huntsman brand? Because a lot of times those activities we went to had professionals there, and so just kind of trying to represent the school in a positive manner was helping build the brand. And when we build the brand, we help ourselves, just because guilty by association when the Huntsman MBA is improved, that degree that we own is gains value as well.
So one of the distinct things associated with the Huntsman MBA program is that we have fun, right? One of the things that sets us apart as Aggies and part of Utah State University. Maybe you can speak to some of the fun things that we did as part of the MBA.
One of the funnest things that I feel like was just a great time was our tailgaters. I mean, never in the history of Utah State has there been a Huntsman MBA tailgater ever, and we threw the first one. And it was really awesome, actually. Everybody showed up. We had great attendance. The fun thing is, so this last year, they had white T-shirts that they're giving out for the home game. And the MBA program went out and bought all the T-shirts they could find here in the rest of the valley. So we pretty much had the monopoly on the white T-shirts. And it was so much fun. Like, yeah, we gave all the students a free game day T-shirt, but then we went out and we made some money. I mean, that's why we're here in the MBA is we learn about business, we learn about different functions, capitalize on an opportunity. Mm-hmm. So it was really fun to go out there. We sold the T-shirts, made some extra money just to use to do some more fun things. But it's just examples like that we did throughout the whole year. It just made it more fun. I don't know, Jake, what was one thing that you really enjoyed?
Well, the tailgaters were my favorite, and we had so much fun with the first one we did, actually the second one. But another one of my favorite events was the Christmas party we did. We did a ugly sweater Christmas party for the MBAA. And
there were some ugly sweaters.
There were definitely some ugly sweaters. We did kind of a white elephant gift exchanges along with that, and had a blast. And it was just fun. I mean, again, as you get to know people, you really have a great time. Even when we're having fun, we're doing it, we're building those relationships. It's part of networking. Even with the tailgaters, we are inviting people from off campus to come meet up with us and enjoy the tailgater with us. And it's good for people to see that we're not just suits and ties all the time, but we really are people with personalities that the Aggies really do know how to enjoy life, but be professional at the same time. And so we really did have a good time kind of with everything we did. Just this last week we did a 80s roller skate night here at the local skating rink, and just kind of really had a good time getting to know each other, the cohort, and again, building that network that's going to last far longer than just this 1 year here on campus.
And as an alum of this program, one of the things that I took from my experience here at Utah State and the Huntsman MBA program are those relationships, because they last, right? So I'm just letting you know that after graduation, you have a network to continue to draw upon and connect with socially and also professionally. So well done. Maybe as you exit and approach your graduation date, maybe you can speak to some advice for incoming MBAs, how they can get the most out of their Huntsman MBA experience. Ross?
It just brings me back to what we were talking about earlier about how I came with a different degree. My undergrad was in business, and so I was worried, how am I going to fit in with these individuals? How am I going to be involved? And then I just told myself, hey, you're trying this new experience, go out there and be involved. And that was the greatest thing I did this year, was actually got involved. I ran for this position, the executive vice president, and Jake and I have had a wonderful time this year working with the MBAA, doing fun things, and it just something like that actually putting myself out there and doing something different has actually made the world of difference, and it's brought opportunities, and it's brought networking opportunities, and it's made it a lot easier and a lot, as we go out through this year as students, it's made it just a lot more enjoyable. And that's something I'd say to students is hey, put yourself out there. You're only here for a year. take advantage of any opportunity you can, any and all opportunities, and you never know what's going to happen within the year.
So is it fair to say that as great as our curriculum is, and as great as our teaching is, getting involved outside the classroom has made all the difference for you?
Well, some people say, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. So, yeah, it does make a difference. You know what I mean? You really make connections. You get opportunities that you do outside of the classroom. You're there in the classroom to learn. You're there in the classroom to maximize. You're learning and optimize, hey, how can I take this into the field? But when you graduate, you got to go out in the field. That's the whole reason you're here, is to go on to the next step. And if you haven't done anything to prepare for that, you're going to be in trouble. I mean, yeah, you might know a lot of things, but if you don't know anybody, or if you haven't taken the time to make networks and make connections, then it really doesn't benefit you as much as you could outside of the classroom. Going out there, getting to know professors, going to the MBA events, just putting yourself out there just makes a world of difference when it comes to where you want to go and what you want to do with your MBA.
Great, thanks, Jake. Thanks, Ross. And Jake, tell me what's made all the difference for you, and I mean advice that you would share for others incoming to get the most out of their experience here at the Huntsman.
I mean, it's that old cliche that you get out of it what you put into it. And to be honest, that's what they told us when we came into the program, and it was 100% true. I mean, really, there's a stark difference between those who have really jumped in with both feet and gotten involved compared to those who sat on the sidelines. Those who have been really involved, I think, outside of just learning more in class because you're able to apply it directly, we've had such a more rich experience outside the classroom. And so again, just you get out what you put into it. And another piece of advice that was shared with me when we came into the program was trade sleep for success. And there definitely have been some all-nighters, not to scare anybody, but I mean, the workload is manageable, but there are going to be times when you have to decide, should I do my homework or should I go to the networking event and then do my homework late into the night? And to be honest, every time I've made that sacrifice and worked on homework late into the night, it's been worth it. And you can always catch back up on sleep on the weekends or some other time, but you can't re-catch those opportunities that you miss if you're not trading that sleep for success. So those are kind of the biggest things, is just getting involved, getting out what you put into it, and then just making those sacrifices. Again, it's 1 year. Just do everything you can to make the most of it, because it goes by really quick.
So Jake, thank you for sharing your insights, and Ross as well as to incoming MBAs. How does someone get involved actively in leadership with the MBA Association?
So at the beginning of the year, they open up the opportunity to everybody to run for MBA leadership, specifically president. Those who run, the person who gets the most amount of votes becomes president, and the person with the second most amount of votes gets executive vice president. And then those two people pick out of the cohort who will be the vice presidents over specific different departments.
So you create a leadership team. There's a team of leaders. Okay.
And that again is open to everybody. Anybody who wants to can apply. And then within that, even if you're not one of the 7 assigned leaders of the MBAA, there are lots of opportunities to be involved, to help with different opportunities, different events. And so we've really tried kind of leveraging some of the strengths we have in the cohort and bringing people in saying, hey, this is a strength of yours, will you mind helping us out with this? And so there are a lot of pretty much endless opportunities to get involved with the MBAA, whether it be through formal leadership opportunities, which I would definitely recommend. It's the best opportunity I've had as far as being here at the Huntsman School to really get involved, to push myself and develop myself, like I talked about earlier. And on top of that, it's on the front end, it's a small investment. Just to run for president really just requires getting up in front of people and putting yourself on the line, but the payback is immense. And so, again, just taking advantage of those opportunities, but they're abundant, whether it be through formal or just pitching in and saying, hey, this event's coming up, what can I do to help?
Great. Well, there you have it. The MBA is really, truly an organization that is student-run, and it's an organization that we hope that all of you will get involved in and take an active part and make it an integral part of your MBA experience.